Welcome, 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 welcome. You're in Ray's Juke Joint, but this is the Pickoff Show where we talk baseball. Appreciate the Fair Catch crew that just left off the channel. They did a great job with the free agent frenzy for the NFL. Elise, Julius, Isaiah, thank you guys for doing a great show. But we're talking baseball, Eric. How you feeling today?
Good, buddy. Good. It's Monday. Workday's over. Excited about that.
Yep. So, I mean, we got a lot to get to. We got a little short time to do it, but we got a lot to get to. So
Yeah.
let's just get to it, man.
Go.
Before we go, thank you everybody for coming on to the channel, subscribing to the channel, like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel, following us on Twitter on Ray's Juke Joint. I appreciate everybody, even supporting us. Like, it's been a really big thing, and we got a lot more coming. And just stay with us, man. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it moving, and just the Ray's Juke Joints is gonna continue to grow, and we're just gonna just keep trying to put out good content for you guys, so you guys can just have a variety of sports stuff you can watch. You know what I'm saying?
It's really growing. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. So let's get to it, Eric. So we're gonna go ahead and go off. I'll throw the first. All right. So I'll throw the first as always, the White Sox GM manager news. MLB did their 30 teams in 30 days the last week, I want to say. And They did interviews with some of the guys. And I was more interested in Pedro's and Chris Getz interview. What did you think about those?
Yeah, I mean, pretty general, right? Not a ton of detail there or whatever. You can tell they've built trying to change the culture and ready to play and all this stuff. So we'll see. I mean, what was your take on it?
Well, I mean, Griffald, he has a knack for just giving us coach speak.
Yeah.
They kind of focused on the veterans and changing the culture, mainly Martin Maldonado.
Yeah.
Like Maldonado, like I guess when they signed him, he got instantly into it. Instantly got into the aspect of leadership and how they're going to change the culture and how he's going to change and work with the pitchers and do his thing as a catcher. So it was kind of interesting to hear him talk about Martin Maldonado and how he has ingratiated himself into the team and the pitchers. So I thought that was pretty dope. But Chris Getz, you know what? Like when I listened to this kid, you know me, I was kind of opposed to doing an internal hire. Yeah. But as I listened to Chris Getz, and he talks about his vision for this roster, this vision for his team. He's kind of turning me like into a fan a little bit. I mean, I think the kid is smart. I think he's a baseball guy. I think that's what we've been saying we wanted. And he has some guys in the office there to kind of help him. I mean, I know people are kind of like, why is Tony La Russa there? Well, for me, he's a well of knowledge. And
you can learn from anybody. Why not learn from a guy that's, a Hall of Fame manager? You know what I mean? And he actually served time in the front office as well. I mean, he did do the best job in Arizona, but he had time there.
Right.
Knowledge is power, right?
Say again.
Knowledge is power, right?
Sure. I mean, I would want you to lean on some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because like you can't really go wrong with just tapping into that well because you have to. I think that Chris Getz has a infrastructure, especially starting back with Project Birmingham. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if we look at like the team, we're gonna talk about the roster here in a second. But if you look at the team and you see that the team is a certain personality on the team. Like, what do you see? Do you see the same thing that I see?
Well, a couple things like. A lot of people are like, he didn't earn the job. He didn't, he didn't have enough experience. He didn't do this. But I got news for you. You have to pay attention a little bit. He worked his way up the front office deal. To give you an idea, Grady Sizemore is coach from first base. And he was a Hall of Fame or great player. I don't say Hall of Fame player, but he was a great player for a long time, right? So, like, he's a former player. He ain't a GM anywhere. He's coach from first base. So, like, Getz has got something that a lot of people don't have. And he did work his way, into the assistant GM role, ended up taking the GM. Now, are you right to say that he was part of the team that led to this chaos that sounds like we have? Yeah, 100%. You can say that. Like, we can say that. You can say that. How much control did he have with Kenny and Hahn? We'll probably never know. And obviously, Not very much because he didn't get the blame for it. So, but I do here. I'm happy. I'm not thrilled. Wouldn't be my plan, but I'm happy we have one. Right? It's defense. It's speed. I mean, we're not gonna have time this show, but next show we'll talk about like how they were rated number 9 in defense. Right? I shared that little clip with you. Going this year and how those rankings came up from being that high to having a top 10 defense. How they were number 7 in stolen base attempts, like in the spring. Like I know people are pissed off that he said the two-hole guy is going to bunt. And you know me, I'm not thrilled about it either. That's not my deal. But if you're going to play a style, you got to play a style. And if you're going to play close games, move guys over, bunt, going to try to like manufacture runs, it's old school. It ain't me. But hey, at least they're sticking to the script. I just don't want to see the Band-Aids. I don't want to see the plug-and-plays anymore. Adam Dunn, when his career is over, like his old stars that not good anymore, just trying to plug them in and see if things work. Like, let's have an identity. And if it's going to be defense and running and bunting and moving guys over, well, you know what? It can't be any other than the baseball we watched last year. So,
nothing could be worse than that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Nothing.
So, I mean, if that's us, it's like me, I'm the dead opposite if I had a deal. But, hey, at least we have a style. It looks like a deal. So.
Well, since you brought up the roster and since you brought up some of the older guys, I do want to talk about one guy. Let's go ahead and go to our throw to second. Let's go to the roster review because like they're trimming it down. They're trimming it down right now. And we started off with a bunch of cuts on the 8th. Okay, so let's talk about the cuts on the 8th. Prior to the spring training game in Cleveland, they made 12 moves. They sent Oscar Colas, Davis Martin, Sammy Peralta, and Jose Rodriguez to AAA Charlotte. They optioned to AA Jocelyn Cousin and Jake Eder. And then the minor league kept, they put Kai Bush, who I like, Fraser Ellard, Adam Heckenberg, Edgar Navarro. People, please don't sleep on that kid. He's got some stuff in his bag. Edgar Cuero and Lane Ramsey. So that was the first set of cuts that happened on the 8th. And then we had another set of cuts today where they optioned Peyton, what's his name? Peyton Burdick. Burdick. And then they did Zach DeLoach, who we both love, to AAA, right? Yep. And then Alex Spees. And then we had our guy, Brian Ramos. He went to AAA again.
No, AA.
AA. I'm sorry, AA. Yeah. And then we had the minor league camp, Tim Elko, who's a fucking hoss. I can't wait to see what he becomes. And then a lot of people were surprised to see Kosa Montgomery go back to the minor league camp, and then Carlos Perez. Let's talk about Kosa Montgomery real quick.
Yeah, they just want to keep him there. Keep him there in Arizona, right? Keep working with him. Probably stay around the coaches. He can still maybe jump in a game here or there, play on the B games on the opposite field. Like when they reassign those guys to minor camp, that just means they're hanging around the club for now. They're not going to their affiliates or whatever.
Yeah.
So like they get to keep working with him. He can play some of the B games, get to bat against some higher end pitchers or guys fighting for the teams in the B games. That's probably a lot of what they're doing there. They're going to keep some extra pitchers, of course, just to not burn arms and do that type of stuff. The two moves that were interesting, I found, because I'm really high, and I know we're going to get to in a minute. I think he made the list. If not, he's got to be knock on it. But Jake Eder and Brian Ramos going to AA.
Yes.
So, and not triple. I'm interested in both that. So, what can we deem from that, or what's the thinking behind that? What I'm curious is that part of?
Well, Eder went to AA.
Yeah. So did Brian Ramos. And so did Brian Ramos, right? So
no. Ramos went to, where did he go? Ramos went to
right there.
Yep, he went to AA. I'm sorry. Okay.
So what's interesting there about both of those guys going to AA when they're totally probably ready for AAA that has me interested is, let's go to Ramos first. Are they doing it so he's working with the Project Birmingham people that you brought up? Is there something specific they want him to work at so he can go back and from the training facility to this? Is there a possibility that Moose is going to take the AAA assignment and play third and help bring culture to some of the young guys in Charlotte? And that's why they didn't bring him down to third. Like, that's the two things kind of running through my mind on Ramos. Probably similar with Jake. Like, is there something they want to work on in Birmingham? Like, why is he in double? is the AAA staff that full, to begin with, or they just wanted, so those were the two moves that kind of were interesting for me.
Yeah. So with the cuts, you brought up a name earlier, Kevin Pillar. He's an older guy, right? And that's why I wanted to go here now. Kevin Pillar is an older guy. Our friend Justin says Dominic Fletcher for life. So let's talk about it, because we kind of made a prediction a couple weeks ago on who we thought would make the roster.
Yep.
And I think we're one off, because
I think we are too.
Yeah, you said something about Kevin Pillar getting his money.
Yeah, I'm surprised. He has I think it's a $3.25 million option for a 1-year guy, and I think his last 3 seasons, like WRC plus, are all sub 90. You know what I mean? So like, he ain't gonna have much trade value. I mean, he talent wise is not above probably major league average. I thought they might leave him off and let the young kids play. Like, I really thought that might be a play, but you look at the lineups and what the lineups are telling us, and they keep sticking him out there, and they keep sticking him out there. And then probably one of the tips that went to me is Chuck Garfien had him on a podcast, deal. So then it was like, if he knew he wasn't making a team, is Chuck like, does Chuck know he's already making a team, whatever? Like, why is he having him on a podcast? Maybe it doesn't matter, but I feel like he might be the culture guy. So like, I mean, I'm going to guess he makes it with Sheets and probably Mendick, because my other concern, I know you got one of those lineups there.
Do you want me to bring it up?
Yeah, bring up the one where
the one we talked about before.
Schumacher was playing second base right here.
Okay.
So you see Schumacher playing some second base. You see him move Lopez over short. I could see that rotation working, either one where they can move them. But the problem right now is I don't think anybody's got a major league game at third outside of Danny Mendick. So who's giving Moncada a day off? I don't think Schumacher's ever played third, and I'm not for sure DeJong has either. And I haven't seen anybody over at third base yet on the deal that I would consider probably making the roster. So I'm going to guess Mendick makes it, just out of being the utility guy in the infield.
Yeah, I mean, I when you said it a couple of weeks ago, I was kind of shocked, but it makes sense. They're comfortable with Mendick. Mendick is a White Sox, guy.
Yeah,
like, he's been here. He done his thing here before. I think he was a cap casualty. I won't say cap casualty. I don't know how to say it, but they let him go in the offseason a couple years ago. But he fits the mold, in my opinion. He's a grinder, and I think
they brought him back, so they must think that he fits this new culture, right? They must have known that he was, like you said, must be a grinder, must do the right things in the clubhouse, one of the first guys in, last guys out. But, I mean, if you look at it, I really wanted Schumacher and DeRoche to make the team, right? That's what I wanted. I wanted the youth to play. I want to see what they can do. We probably see them in the second half of the year as some of the roster stuff shakes out. But to me, it looks like it's Mendick, Pillar, and Sheets in the catcher, right?
Yeah. And then Stacy.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like right now. I'm thinking that, like you said, Justin wants you to change your name, but I mean, it is what it is, Eric.
It'll get changed, Justin. It'll be 2-time.
Yeah. So I mean, we just have to look at the roster for what it is. There are some good things happening with the Sox right now, like that we can kind of glean some hope a little bit, So let's kind of go into, well, before we go there, let's go here. We do have to talk about this the breakout, right? So the spring breakout is coming, and the Sox are putting together a nice little squad here, right?
Yep.
For the spring breakout that's happening on the 18th. And we have just some notable names here, some guys that we really like on this squad. Cuero, let's say we're talking about our guy Jacob Burke. We love him.
Yeah.
Zach DeLoach, Fletcher, Tim Elko is there.
I'm kind of surprised Fletcher's on there, considering I think he's going to be the starting right fielder. I'm kind of surprised he's. Well,
he's still. I guess
still got the minor league tag, right?
Yeah, minor league tag. Yeah, so we got our guys Colson and Ramos. I love Elko being out there. But that the pitching is where I'm kind of like really focusing in on. Baroa, Kai Bush, Jake Eder, of course Leisure, Nastrini, or however you say his last name.
Yeah.
And these guys are just going to be there, and I'm interested to see how they play against this other top end talent that's out here. Against some of these guys that are highly ranked. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the White Sox have put together a nice little prospect. Let's talk about the prospects real quick.
Well, I'll tell you, pull that back up for 1 second, if you would.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I'll tell you a name that like a lot of people probably aren't even familiar with is the name right on top, Mason Adams. So like he popped in. I know we're gonna talk about it in a second, but he popped in at number 19 in the whole organization coming in. So big, huge curveball pitcher. That's his number one pitch. So it's interesting that his name keeps kind of circulating. He'll be a fun follow this year.
Oh, Mason Adams. Let's put the bookmark on Mason Adams.
Yeah.
His number one pitch is a curveball.
Number one pitch is a curveball. He's actually his fastball is like his worst pitch. Curveball slider pitcher, which is a little different.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, we just have to look at it for what it is, and just I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see this.
I want to see this game too. It's going to be a weird season, right? We were talking about it. Like we're rooting for people to do well to get traded. Like, whatever. Like Makata's going to be gone. Eloy is going to be gone. Tanaka, hope he pitches well so he can get traded. Like Cease, obviously, I feel like that's any day, any time that could possibly pop. Like it's going to be a weird year, but it like you said, it is what it is. Like let's enjoy it. Let's see what the style brings. And to be honest with you, I'm probably looking more forward to the second half when some of the young kids jump up here and play than I am probably the first half.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's do the White Sox. Well, the MLB put out our prospect list, right?
Yep.
And at the very top we got Coulson, but the number 2 would probably surprise people. Not me though.
Yeah, no. I think he should be number 1. You know that, but.
Yeah, I know you said that, but Noah Schultz is a stud. They have an ETA on him on 2006. Then you got Brian Ramos, Cuero, Jacob Gonzalez. A lot of people are down on him. It seems like the MLB is not.
A little news on Schultz today. They said they're going to try to treat him like a Tommy John candidate, maybe cap him like at 65, 80 innings this year.
Oh, okay.
But he is going to an affiliate. He's not going to stay in Arizona, so he'll be probably in Kannapolis to start, I would guess.
Okay. So that means we got to reach out to our guy, Daniel, so he can tell us how he's looking down there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So then let's see. We got Eder's at 7. And,
that's what we were talking about, right? Like Ramos is already on the 40, so we'll probably see him, I would guess, later in the season. Like if and when Makata's moved, I could see him actually doing big league time. Number 6, Nastrini, like I think after he might be up sooner than all these people. Once he gets by service time, manipulation time, I can see him joining the rotation possibly, especially with Kopech just struggling. I mean, just struggling.
Yeah, we saw that right before we came in. We saw that Kopech is just not having a good spring.
He is not after what was supposed to be his healthiest in his deal. It looks like absolutely nothing has changed. He can't find the plate. The only thing he can find is, the center of bats because they know a fastball is coming. Like that's it.
Yep. And so what's crazy is that we got Fletcher at 13.
Yeah. He'll obviously graduate, probably be on the roster, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we got Popeye and then our guy Jordan Leisure. We're finna talk about him in a second.
Yep.
And
Popeye also on the 40, and I saw he got signed to AAA. I could see him later in the season getting some at bats as well in the major league team.
Yeah, and then a couple just a couple other names. There's our guy Sean Burke. He's at 20.
Yeah, I'm following him.
Yep, we are following him. And then let's see. Oh, and then Zach Deloach is all the way at 29.
Where did they put did I miss it? Where did they put George at?
Who?
Go back up. I must have missed it. There he is, 10.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess he's playing center field. They were saying a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't played all 3.
I didn't realize he was 6'7".
Yeah, he's a monster. He's an absolute
monster. And then Jacob he rounds us out at 30.
Was he
So,
not on there? Oh yeah,
yeah, he's at 30 right here at 30.
Yep.
Yep. So I mean, that's our top, 30 prospects or whatever, and we're gonna see how it shakes out.
We're
Honestly,
going to see, a couple of, like I said, I think you'll see for sure, Srini. I think we're going to talk about Leisure in a minute, but probably we'll see him at some point this year too. And I think you'll see Ramos. I think you'll see Popeye as well.
Yeah, and I love Popeye, so
Yeah, agreed.
So, you said something earlier that kind of shook up, Justin a little bit.
Yeah.
So
well, he's owed. He's got an option next year for $25 million. There ain't no way they're exercising that one. I mean,
yeah.
So if you can get anything for him at the turn, even throw in some cash to get a prospect, he's for sure. Same thing with Eloy. They ain't picking up on this team. No matter how good he hits, they ain't picking up his $15 million option either. You can tell this team is not interested in that type of player.
So let's get right into some of the guys. We go to our throw to third, which is our predictions, where we talk about some of the guys, what they're doing heading into the season and spring training. Some of the things that we're talking about. Let's just talk about Eloy since we're here. So far,
looks great.
Eloy has been raking.
Yeah.
Where the hell did Eloy go? I lost Eloy. Hold on. Where is he at? Okay. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. I messed up. There it is. So as of today, this is from Discuss Baseball. Shout out to Discuss Baseball. At Discuss Baseball. Eloy Jimenez has been the best player in MLB this spring, ? Hitting .484 with a homer, 11 RBIs, 1.177 OPS. And, him coming in healthy and raking is something that we've been wishing for years.
I mean, he can hit. That's the one thing. He's not just power. He's not your Kyle Schwarber that's going to hit 40 and hit 200. I mean, Eloy can hit. He could hit 280 and hit 35 homers. It shouldn't. I mean, he's got that pedigree to do it. And he's proven he can do it at this level.
Yeah.
Now, it's been a few years, but I'm hoping he's hot. I'm hoping he stays hot. I root for him. Like I said, it's a weird year, but, maybe he can get something in return later on in the year.
So one of the guys that I've been really excited about, and I think a lot of White Sox fans have been excited about. Let's just bring up a clip of him.
It's a good slider. He'll occasionally throw a changeup and a two-strike pitch on Trout, and he got him looking with the fastball, struck him out. And here's the payoff. And he got him on the outside corner. Rendon can't believe it. It's a fastball. Looked like it was outside, but it's called strike 3. Ward is battling this hard thrower. Here's the next pitch, and that is on the outside corner. Got him looking, and a very impressive.
Strikeouts for Soroka. Swing and a miss. He got him on a high fastball for strike 3. 6'6", 245. That's intimidating. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on a high fastball. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Crochet with his third strikeout, called strike 3. Miller is out. Swing.
Yeah.
Hey, so that was Garrett Crochet, people. If you didn't know who that was, that is our highly touted prospect. We've been waiting for him to come back from injury. And I mean, if he's going to be doing what we're seeing right there, throwing dots,
they weren't seeing that at all. And we're not talking about that wasn't against minor league guys. I mean, we saw
that was Trout. That was Ward.
We saw Ward. We saw Cronenworth, who was one of the best zone bat guys. He don't strike out, contact deals or whatever. They're not seeing that fastball. They're just not. They're late. They're not seeing any of it. It's mine. It's fooling them. And that's a dangerous conversation if he can throw strikes.
I mean, this man is pitching. He's pitching arm side like it's nobody's business. It's crazy. He's dotting on that left-hand batter's box side of the plate. Dead on.
Well, here's the thing about it. They know they can't hit the slider.
Right.
They know they can't hit it. So they're setting fastball.
Yeah.
And they're not seeing it. I mean, that tells you that guy's dangerous. When they're looking for that pitch and they're that late behind it and not hitting it well, it's interesting.
Yeah. So, as of right now, Garrett Crochet. Shout out to Shy Sox fan Mike. I reached out to him, asked him could I use some of his tweets. He's been on top of it. He's one of the best followers on White Sox Twitter. So if you're on White Sox Twitter, follow Shy Sox fan Mike. He just all day. He loves the White Sox.
All day, every day.
Tweets all day, every day.
It's
so right
insane.
now we got 3 outings, with 5.2 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, a 0.88 WHIP, and a 0 ERA. Garrett Crochet. It's insane.
Yeah, like they interviewed him and he asked him what his number one job was, and he said to throw strikes.
I mean, you can't ask for better.
Right. And I mean, you just saw it. If he can stay in the zone and get ahead of people, it's dangerous.
Here's another name that we've talked about numerous times, Eric. You and I, like in the last 3 shows that we've run with the Pickoff crew, just you and I, we talked about Michael Soroka. And Soroka was kind of log jammed in Atlanta.
Yep.
Right? And he's a former number 1 pick.
Yep.
And the guy has some stuff, right? So let's just look at a little bit of
He's a shortstop, and he's playing center. Called strike 3, outside corner fastball, and Bogart's out on strikes. Soroka now stretches. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Throw to second is not in time. The pitch by Soroka got him looking on a nasty knee-buckling slider. So all the outs were strikeouts. Swing and a miss. He went after a high fastball and missed it. Holds his hands out in front as he gets the signal. The pitch swung on and missed. Ball in the dirt. And Stassi will fire to first to complete.
And what you saw there was a variation of different pitches. I mean, fastball, curveball, slider, just going in the zone.
Before he got injured, he was on track to be another Braves true ace. I mean, there's just no way around it. He was touted as that. Now, I don't think he'll ever be what he was, but yeah, he's got true ability. He's another guy. We're all Sox fans. I mean, he put up a 6.1 WAR in 2019 as a pitcher.
Right.
Like can he do well? Can he show out? Like, would be interesting. Would they consider extending him if he looks good? Could he be a possible future for the team, or is he more trade bait or whatever? But,
yeah. I mean, we haven't really seen a lot of Eddie Fetty, but right now Soroka is like at the top of my list of guys that I'm going to be watching. Yep. This year.
Yep. Well, I think for the starting rotation. Here, let me flip on my lights there.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we just have like some guys that are intriguing that I'm looking forward to on the Sox, especially on the pitching staff. Fletcher being a guy in the outfield that is a young guy who was behind a couple people and didn't get a chance to shine. So I want to see what this young kid has, and he's been doing well in spring training. So I like to see what Dominic Fletcher has. Shout out to Justin. He says Dominic Fletcher for life. So I'm with you on that, Justin. Also, there's a couple other guys that I just got one more pitcher I want to talk about, and this guy is just like, I don't know what else to say about this kid, And as of yesterday, the White Sox the pitching staff from the starter to all the guys they brought in, they struck out 15 people. And we were talking about the Padres, and they didn't put out their B squad; they put out their A squad. So this is
starters almost, right?
Yeah, this is Tatis. This is Cronenworth. This is Bogarts. These are guys that we know. Ha-Sung Kim. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about guys that are major league players, and they put up 15 Ks yesterday. So let's talk about one more guy. So let's go to him. Here we go.
Not on the Angels rosters, a non-roster invitee, and tried to hold. Is ready, and his next pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. Win a spot.
Yeah.
That's Jordan Leisure.
Yeah.
Yep, Jordan Leisure. So the other day, this was put out by Frank. I don't want to butcher his last name. It looks like Amarante.
Yeah.
He put this out. Best fit as closer, and I said this the last show. I think he's going to end up being a closer. His fastball can get up to 100, 35.4 K rate in AAA last year. As of this tweet, it was 4 innings pitched, 6 Ks. And Breeby is hurt, and Baroa, will be probably stretched out to be a starter. And then as of yesterday, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 7 Ks, 0 ERA, 0.80 WHIP. So
yeah,
I mean, this kid is out there just throwing fucking. I mean, it looks good.
So he will be Rule 5 eligible this year. So they're going to have to he ain't on the 40 yet. So they'll have to bring him up at some point. I mean, I think they're crazy if they don't manipulate his timetable. So again, probably starts the season in AAA, comes join the back end of that staff. Because I saw that Reba, whatever, was actually throwing the other day. So it sounds like he might be back on track. But he's another guy that I think gets called up probably with the same his trade partner, right? They got that Nick Nastrini and this guy for Kelly and Lance Lynn from the Dodgers.
Right.
So one thing I'm back to Getz a little bit, but taking flooded systems players, Braves, Dodgers, you definitely should probably be, taking some of their leftovers. Like they have so many, they have a 40-man roster issue. So like that part of the plan I've liked as well.
I mean, they went to two organizations that have loaded teams.
Yep.
And their young guys are just not going to see the majors.
Right.
With the squads that they have. And along with the signings, like with the Dodgers with Yamamoto and Ohtani and bringing in what's his name? The slugger, Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah.
They're bringing in big names to win now. Right. So that's 1 year where these young guys just not going to see it. They're not going to see the field. They're not going to come up. They're going to be stuck in AA and AAA.
Pagan is stuck there now. That outfielder for the Dodgers, he's kind of just stuck.
Pagan. Oh, he's been raking this spring. He's been fucking raking.
But he's stuck.
He's stuck. Yeah. He's stuck. I mean, even
they had so much talent. They moved Mookie to the infield. They moved a Gold Glove-ish right on there. Sure, he has a couple right fielder. They have so many. They moved him to second base, and now he's stuck at shortstop because Gavin Lux can't throw it from short. So
he's got the yips. I'm sorry. He's got the yips.
Knobloch, the old Chuck Knobloch. Remember those days? And Chuck couldn't get it from second to first. He'd run it over there halftime. Yeah. Yeah,
he's got the yips. But I mean, they had a little encouragement, the other day. So, but let's go. What's our throw to third? Oh yeah, we already did that. That's where we at. Shit, I'm tripping.
That's where we at.
Okay, all right. So I didn't know. I'm kind of excited about where we're going next, though. So let's just go there. Okay. So everybody, just so you know, Eric and I and our friends, the Scumbag Crew, we're a part of the SBC. Who Eric is the champ. You see his name right there. He's the champ of the league last year that we was in. It was a head-to-head league, and Eric started up at the bottom and he ended up on top. So shout out to you, Eric.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. So the head-to-head is back. We have a dynasty league there. So if you follow us on the channel, you'll see our draft and you'll see like how we, shaked out on the SBC side of the game as far as fantasy baseball is concerned. But also Eric and I, Eric went out and got us into a roto league with some of the more prominent national guys out there. Shout out to Doc Stash, shout out to Will, shout out to Ronnie and all the other guys in our league. And we just recently finished our draft in the Roto League, Eric.
Yeah. So it was, our league that we do with our friends is meant for head-to-head, right? It's meant for trash talking, weekly stuff, interactions, like that's the deal. Roto Leagues is where the talents or where the higher players play. And like they believe there's more talent to win a Roto League than it is head-to-head. And I think that is pretty much standard across the deal. But I signed us up for a challenge, right? We had 3 teams to pick from. One was a defending champ, but I took the worst team.
Our friend Caleb ended up grabbing the other team.
Yeah, he even had to ask, like, well, I want to see the roster before I commit. Like, it's like,
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did. Like, where's the sport in that, man? Like, you want to see the roster? Here, there's a defending champ if you want one. But I said I wanted the challenge for you and I to take on in the Roto League. We're going to look to maybe do some more, especially next year in these bigger competitions, and see how we stack up and see what we can learn and have some of the guys on. Like, I'm pretty excited about the fantasy stuff.
Yeah, and when you brought it to the table, I was like, yeah, let's freaking do it.
Yeah,
let's do it. Let's go and go over here and test our mettle against some of the guys who are really, into fantasy baseball, and they do it a different way. I had to learn how to do roto. Like, I didn't understand it initially, but now I get it and I'm ready. Like, when we drafted our team, we drafted on the concept of we don't have the best roster.
Nope.
But how are we going to get, to the next level next year? Long term, how are we going to compete in this league where it's already stacked up against us? So let's just get right into it. So what happened is, in this league, we got a 10-man keeper, right, in the roto.
Yep.
And we got a squad, and we decided that we was going to keep some people. So, Eric, you want me to bring up the draft, or you want to bring up our roster? Which one you want?
Let's bring up the roster.
Okay.
We can talk about it. Like, so we had to have, like, every league values players different, right? And every deal does. Like Roto, to your point. Roto, for those that don't know, it's a year-long running total of your home runs. And if you get first in a category, we have an 11-person league, you get 11 points. You get last, you get 1, right? Like, that's how it works. So it's a running total. Well, we were really behind the 8 ball. Like, offensively, talent-wise, we knew we were in trouble. We knew we couldn't. So we made some moves early to start trying to stack our pitching, is where we decided to attack, and especially going after the Ks and the quality starts.
Yes.
So you can see, like, from our starting pitching standpoint, over there on the right, with the Pickoff Show, of course, Gosman, Lopez. Scroll down a little bit. Who else we got on there?
Okay, hold on. Let me get back over there.
Can you scroll down and see?
Yeah, here we go. Gosman, Lopez,
Eflin,
Snell,
Cease, BB, and Loto off the bench, right? So you can tell quality starts as a category, strikeouts as a category. You're allowed 1,850 innings. Got to max out the innings. Going to try to become 11-point, 10-point, 9-point relevant in those areas. Hoping to finish middle of the pack, probably maybe towards the higher side with the whip as well. So that's where we went. Then we had to choose on offense. Like I said, we were never winning home runs. We just weren't. Like, go to Will's team. Like, right there. Look at Will's team.
Yeah.
He kept Matt Olson, J-Ram, Witt, Harper, Julio, Carroll, Tucker, and Ohtani. Yeah. Like, that's his 10 starting guys.
It's just stupid.
You and I are staring at Will Smith. I had to trade for McClain and Steer. We have Abrams. We had, and we kept Outman. We maybe had 3 guys off our original roster on here. I think that's it, right? Smith and Gosman, I guess. We had 4 guys off our original rosters. We moved around a bunch of draft picks and stuff. So, I mean,
it was just stupid. Like, I looked at a couple of these rosters, I was like, holy, like, how did this happen? How did this guy end up with this roster right here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
so sick.
It's stupid. Like, and Jordan is sitting there. Like, you didn't even say.
Oh, Jordan. Yeah, I didn't even say him.
And Ohtani. And Ohtani.
That's the 10, right? Like what? So little game theory. You don't want to chase. We don't want to try to go chase this guy in home runs. How are we ever going to catch him? Can't catch him, right? So we're hoping to maybe win the OBP battle from in that deal. You can tell by where we drafted younger guys, a little higher batting averages, a little better OBP. We got some speed, and we got a lot of 15 to 20 home run power. We don't have any of the 40 to the 50 guys, but we're hoping that pitching can carry us, and we can be an average offensive team. But this league's going to be so much fun because halfway through the year, if we're not looking good, trades. This league is a very trade-happy league, which I love. You can actually get in there and move things around. So we can sell some guys for draft picks, gather some draft picks, and sell them back for talent, or whatever. But I called you today. We had a trade offer today that was made to us. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm loving that we're in this, and you and I are going to have a good time with this, I think.
Yeah. So shout out to Caleb. Caleb said he disagrees with the Roto League versus head-to-head statement you made.
He's probably the only one.
Well, I think Caleb. I agree with I kind of agree with both of you guys. Like, I love the head-to-head component.
It's made for your friends. If you know everybody interaction, it's made for that. It's made for that. But that's not where the talent's at. Talent's in the Roto.
Oh, well, we're gonna see, because this is my first time ever playing Roto, and I'm gonna get into it deeply. And I'm glad Caleb is here, because Caleb is in our league. Matter of fact, let's just talk about Caleb's team. Since he's here. Hey Caleb, glad you're here.
He had a little bit better start than we did.
He did. He had a little bit better start.
Caleb knows what he's doing too.
His team is, and Caleb is fucking smart as shit.
Yeah.
Yes. So he ended up with this roster right here: Sean Murphy, Chris Bryant, Mookie, Austin Riley, Willie Adames, Manny Machado, Ketel Marte, Yelich, Schwarber, Soler, Morel. He sniped us with Jung Ho Lee. So
we were going there as well.
Yeah, we were headed there.
We ruined our all Asian outfield that we were trying to.
Yeah, we were trying to go all fucking Asian outfield. We were trying to go. Yeah, we was almost there. Eloy, bad news for. Matter of fact, let's just bad news right here. We got some bad news today about Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know what his MRI is going to come out to be. I hope everything comes out of, comes out okay for him. I don't wish nothing bad on him. You know what I'm saying? But Caleb does have him on this roster. Shout out to Dre.
I'll tell you one thing he's
Dre
probably
has him on the other roster.
One thing he's happy about now, and it was last minute, was he traded us for Bobby Miller. I mean, so like right towards the end, like with Cole being, at least he made that move. I mean, that's gonna
he does have Bobby Miller. Yeah,
that does help him out a little bit.
Yeah, he's got some bad news in his relief pitching with Devin Williams.
Well, the bad thing for him, man, we just literally drafted like 3 days ago, and he chose 2 keepers, and now both of them, we haven't heard the final word, but it's not good news. Going for MRIs and going to see spine specialist or whatever isn't the best news for you.
I mean, Edward Cabrera got some bad news too. So yeah, I mean, it's just he's got some guys over there anyway. So I mean, I'm not too Caleb's team is his team, and I know he's gonna manage it properly, and we're gonna see how it shakes out. But let's just get to the draft a little bit. We had a 10. Who did we keep? Let's see. Let's go back here real quick, Eric. We kept Smith, McClain, Steer, Abrams, and I think that was all we had. No, Outman. No, we didn't keep Outman. Did we? No, I know we kept Smith, we kept McClain, we kept Steer, we kept Abrams. And we kept
5, right? We kept Smith, McClain, Steer, Abrams, and Outman.
Yeah, and Outman. Okay, and then we drafted the rest of the guys, and then on the pitching, we kept Gosman, Peralta, Eflin, Snell, and Lopez. Yeah. So we kept Gosman, Lopez, Peralta, Eflin, and Snell, and then we drafted the rest of the guys here.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think we did a good job. Just trying. I think we had an identity that we needed to kind of go into, and we wanted to try to keep that identity going as far as pitching, quality starts, Ks, and just keeping it to where we can have a chance, to win some games throughout the year. And then, in the offensive side, our goal was to get OBP, runs, maybe get some stolen bases, and maybe every now and again get some.
Not to finish dead last in home runs and RBIs, but it's going to be tricky. We're going to struggle there. There's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But let's get to the draft a little bit. So let's go down here. Let me get to the draft.
But we knew, right? We reviewed everybody's team, and everybody was keeping position player heavy. Air Jordan had 0 pitchers on his roster. He kept 10 offensive players.
Yeah.
So coming in, like we almost had to, like, here you go. I mean, you got it. Scroll up just a little bit maybe, but like round 11, right? So you can't see who the teams were, can you?
Well, no, you can't. The teams are color coded. So
I got
what are
you.
we talking about?
We're blue. I was going to look at just like I was just going to go through the rounds, right? So we're blue, right?
Yeah, we're blue.
All right, go back up then. Let's go through the rounds. They came to us and we
got Suzuki in the 11.
First. Yep.
Yeah, and then we got Swanson in the 12th.
Yep. Then we had back-to-back in the 13th, but we didn't want to let people catch up in pitching. We felt like we had to go ahead and put the hammer down there a little bit with the Ks and the quality start. So that's where
we knew we didn't have a pick. We knew we didn't have a pick in the 14th, so that's definitely a reason why we went there.
Yep.
Yep. And so then we came back in the 16th and picked up McCormick, and we like him because of his high barrel rate, low K rate. Plus
he's
a little
OBP,
bit.
He's a 20-20 guy, whatever. That you're going to see a theme here. A lot of our guys are 15-15, 20-20 guys. Like we're looking for guys that can affect 3 or 4 categories, hoping not to get skunked.
Yeah, and then like whoever purple is, he took a couple of that's fucking Doc. God damn it.
Yeah, he sniped our ass a couple times.
He got us a couple times. Like Henry Davis, he got us with freaking
TJ.
TJ, he got us with Kale
Kim.
Garcia.
We were gonna go Kim right there in the first round.
Yep.
I mean, it was Suzuki. He pretty much was a pain in the ass the whole entire draft for the most part.
Yeah. So then, like, what round is this? We got the 17th round. We knew we needed to like finish out our infield, so we went Paredes and Naylor.
Paredes is probably our best home run threat, to be honest. I think he hit 30 last year. He's probably our biggest power that we have. Naylor, OBP guy, whatever.
Big time upside on Naylor though.
Not a ton of value. I mean, he does have upside. He's probably going to drive in 90. He's going to get on base a lot, or whatever. But we got him. I mean, this is late, right? I mean, what round are we in?
That's 17.
It's round 17 of 11 guys. So, he's going ADP of 180 something.
And then we came back and we got Nate Lowe and Yoshida.
Yep.
Nathaniel Lowe. Yeah.
Yep. Hurt, injured right now. But similar ideas, right? Similar concepts. A little bit of OBP, a little bit of pop there with Lowe, hopefully. So the corner positions that we're in field, we're hoping can keep us at a dead last in home runs, hopefully. And then
right after that, you pounded the table for a guy.
Yeah.
You pounded the table for a guy. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Because I'm with you on this. So let's talk about this kid. Nick Lodoto. He made his spring training debut today. 2 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 1 K. It's likely he'll be ready. He won't be ready for opening day, but should be back in a few weeks of the season. So we bought him kind of low, well, kind of high, but also low. But we love his upside.
Yeah, we're all about it. I got him on both teams. I think he's super dangerous. Him and BB, right? Part of our plan, we're going to assume we knew when we took the worst roster that it's going to be hard for us to win this year. Mm-hmm. But part of the plan is, going forward with 10 keepers is can we move maybe a Pablo or a Gosman to get some really good picks or to get maybe some different talent. And then our keepers, maybe if BB shows up or if Lodo goes crazy, we're keeping the young kids and we're building around that way. I mean, that's our plan going into the year anyway.
So here's Bybee. Bybee had a good outing the other day. He went 3 innings, 2 walks, 3 Ks, induced 9 whiffs. So I'm high on Bybee. When you brought up let's go pitching, I told you let's go Bybee.
Yeah.
And we went Bybee Cease. So that's another reason why we went there. But then when we get back to the draft, let's get back here to the draft. We kept going and we got Stephen Kwan. And I thought Stephen Kwan is he's a stabilizer, in my opinion.
He's going to affect 2 categories, right? OBP and stolen bases, basically. I mean, I think he only hit 5 or 6 home runs last year. We know he ain't helping us there, but he can that's our theme, and I think we did a good job of sticking to it.
So I came to you after that round, and I knew we didn't have a pick in the 19th or the, we was late. We had one more pick in the 20th, and then we was going to be sitting out for a little bit, right? And I said, I told you, my one guy that I'm very high on is Will Benson, and then you were like, so I sent you his Savant
page,
and then you were like, oh yeah.
I'm a lot more interested. I'm a lot more interested once I saw the Savant page.
Yeah, this kid is powerful. He's going to steal bags. He strikes out at a
but he don't chase.
He don't chase. Yeah.
So like, why? I'll just go on record now. Like, I hate the Morel pick that they had. I'm down on Morel. Like, I just don't think he's got the combination doesn't work normally in the major leagues. He's got high chase, big whiff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have bat to ball and you're swinging at everything, you're usually going to struggle in the MLB. But you look at Benson, he struck out a lot, but he didn't chase. So, is that something that can be, is that a technique? Is that something that can be corrected? But I think it's a lot harder to teach not to chase than it is maybe to get bat to ball.
Got you. Yep. So I was very high on him. So I was like, yo, let's go get Benson.
Well, between him and Hayes, like, you were blowing up my phone. I was having nightmares about Hayes and Benson because you wouldn't shut up about either one of them. You're like, hey, I think we should take Hayes and Benson. I think we should take Hayes and Benson.
Yeah. And so then we had to wait a couple rounds, and then we went to Brian Hayes. I was banging the table about him.
Yeah.
And then you wanted Tyler O'Neill, which I love him in Boston. My main thing about Tyler O'Neill was, like, I don't want his injury history to bite us in the ass. And
contract year, short porch, and, Fenway. Yeah. Like, for when you're getting this late in the deal, you're looking for somebody that might be able to pop off, and can be a 2020 guy, or whatever. So.
Yeah. So with the news of Devin Williams, I'm kind of glad we got Payamps because he's probably going to be the closer.
Yeah. If he can, either one. This is a saves plus holds.
Yeah. Saves plus holds.
That's why, I think people made mistakes worrying too much about necessarily the closers. When it saves plus holds, you can grab setup guys every night. That's just on the wire. Like, people burning holds and burning early picks on closers. I didn't quite understand the philosophy there.
Yeah, so we went Payamps, Minter, and Neris as far as save plus holds category. So I think we're pretty good there. But you did also want to take a flyer on another kid, and that's Jared Jones. So far this year, Jared Jones has been acting a fool. He's topping out at 101. Last year he was at 99, and he's just been his stuff has just been crazy. He's just had
the Pirates team, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. The Pirates team is fun.
The Pirates team is fun.
I mean, you're talking about, you got Hayes, you got O'Neill Cruz, Henry Davis has been absolutely just destroying baseballs, or whatever. You got this kid coming in like the fifth, and then you got steady old Brian Reynolds that's been in the deal. All of a sudden, you're looking at Sawinski. You're looking at 5 or 6 fantasy relevant players on the Pirates. Like, who would have thought we'd ever be talking about the Pirates having 5 or 6, solid, good fantasy potential? It's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for both seasons to start, the Roto League and the SBC League. I can't wait. Week 1, I have Ian, and I think week 1 you have.
I got a bye, I think.
No, you ain't got no bye. You don't have no bye.
I got Justin.
You got Justin week 1.
Yeah, that's why I said I got a bye. I think
that should be fun. Hey, Justin, you're a fucking bye week, buddy. But yeah, he's been making a lot of moves lately. So, we'll probably touch on some of the trades that happened over the last 2 weeks, next week in the SBC League, and then whatever's happening in the Roto League this year. We'll talk about it next week. But before we get out of here, and I know, Eric, you got to get up out of here. It's almost 6 o'clock. Before we get up out of here, I got to make an announcement. Tomorrow on Ray's Juke Joint, tomorrow, we are having a trial for our friend Matt Crawford.
Judge Ray.
Huh?
Judge Ray.
Yeah, I gotta hold court because there's been a lot of slanderous allegations for this young man right here. This young man, Matthew Crawford, has been run through the mud. He's been drugged, and he's been basically people have just been slandering his name all over the place. So we decided, you know what? Let's give him a platform to clear his name of all these crazy allegations. So we're going to hold court tomorrow. I want everybody to tune in like 6:30 tomorrow, Tuesday, 6:30, and just come in and let's just clear this up once and for all, so he can go on and do things in the 108 tourney and whatever. Let's just stop the slander.
So and I do have some questions. I mean, maybe somebody can ask some concerns. I mean, obviously we know that Team Crawford overall for sure. But the Bud Light man thing does scare me, because I think that's a Wrigley Field thing. Being it's the Bud Light deal, right?
He's a Bud guy.
It's scary, because I know that, like, when I went to the 05 opening series against Red Sox, I was sitting up there in a club level, and some guy tried to order a Bud Light, and they about got booed out of the stadium. Like, they were like, "What? That's for the North Side. Like, we only drink Miller stuff here." So, like, but that's the one thing that I don't know. I don't believe it, but like that's the one fact that goes against him. I think that's the one fact that goes against him.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Everybody just tune in tomorrow. We're just gonna do a nice little 45 minutes to an hour, trial. He's gonna have a docket. We're gonna just talk it through. And he has defense attorneys, and we have some guys that are plaintiffs that have evidence against Matt Crawford, showing that he is indeed a Cubs fan, and he's going to defend himself tomorrow at 6:30.
That'd be a good
tune
show.
in to Ray's Juke Joint tomorrow, and tune in every week on Mondays when we drop content with the Fair Catch crew, who are doing NFL, NBA, and other sports. And then tune in with us, the Pickoff Show, on Monday at 5:00 when we're doing baseball and fantasy baseball, especially White Sox. Okay, so leading up to the year. Be on the lookout for the season opener show where we have all our friends on, and we're just going to be talking.
Yeah, Juke Joint special, right? That'll be a good
Juke Joint special. We're going to just have our friends on like we do every year, and we're just going to have a good time. Mac, Justin, Ian, Caleb, whoever else wants to come on. We're just going to have a Juke Joint special.
We have to invite 9.
Yeah, we got to invite 9.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he's got to come on. Hopefully, one. And so we're going to just have a good show to open the season up. And just, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the season. I will be at opening day. I hope one day, Eric, you could come up for opening day with us.
I'm going to try to get up there this year.
Okay, well, then if you're coming, then we're going to be there. But I'm definitely going to be in the building. And just, opening day. Speaking of asinine, you don't jinx us. Okay?
Right.
Don't jinx us.
We need him for trade bait.
We need him for trade bait, and we need it for opening day. Like, come on, stop it.
Yeah.
We need cease.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So this has been the Pickoff Show. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing. Thank you for the 104 people that have tuned in live, and however many is on YouTube and Twitter. I don't know. But thank you for coming, and we appreciate the support. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment over on YouTube, or like and comment on Twitter. However you want to do it.
I can talk Ray into one more fantasy league if somebody's got an opening that's watching the show.
Oh God, I got an offer. I got an offer for one, Eric. I don't know if I want to fucking.
I can talk him into maybe one more. One more.
God. All right. Well, thank you for coming. We're gonna cut the lights off. Eric's lights are already off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but we're gonna get up out of here. Thank you, guys.